Hi there, I'd like to welcome you to this video. My name is Mark. In this video, I'll be going quickly into 5 moves on how you can be successful in Germany or in Europe at large. Yeah, without wasting much of our time. First and first, the 5 moves I'll be talking about in this video. You should bear in mind it's not as if one move is more important than the other. They are all just as important as any of them. Do you know what I mean? Number one is just as important as number five. And as you go on with your life in Germany or wherever country where you are, you have to carry these 5 moves. They all have to work simultaneously, if you know understand what I mean. So for example, you just arrive Germany. These 5 major moves, you have to set all of them in motion all at the same time. You are going to need them in the future, but you have to set them all in motion at the same time. Depending on your circumstances, you might be in a situation where you're not able to set all 5 moves in motion at the same time. No worries. Some moves you can add them as time goes on. Do you know what I mean? But most of them you have to set them in motion as soon as you arrive to Germany or in whatever country where you are. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But first on the list I'm gonna go on with is your credit score. You see, when you just arrive Germany or you just arrive in whatever country you are in Europe, wherever, your credit score is very important. When you first arrive, when you just arrive Germany, your credit score you may not need it. Right now or at the time where you just arrived the country where you're living, you may not really need it. For at least for the most important things you can use it for to help yourself financially. You would not need them just when you just arrive the country. The little things you can do with your credit score when you just arrive Germany or wherever country where you are is you can buy contract phone, or you can buy make contract VLAN Wi-Fi to your home. Yeah, you can do all of that with your credit score, but you can do all of that with a decent credit score when you just enter the country. But if you want to start making major moves with your credit score, you can't do those things when you first arrive the country. That's why I said you have to set these 5 moves that we'll be talking about. You have to set them in motion. Your credit score, you have to set it in motion as you just arrive the country. So you just arrived Germany. Yes, it's good to take up a contract, but always pay the bills on time. Always pay the bills on time. Do you know what I mean? This will help you build your credit score. I mean, you can get a phone contract. You can get a Wi-Fi to your home contract. That helps you build your credit score. Or if you can buy a scooter and take out an insurance on your scooter, that also helps you build your credit score. You know what I mean? Yeah, but as time goes on in the future, you will need your credit score, a good credit score, to be able to make major financial moves that will impact your life financially. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So one on the list, credit score, and number two on the list would be your work or business or a skill. Say you just arrived in Germany. I will beseech you to understand it's important for you to start thinking about what you are going to do for work or business, or if you want to learn a skill as you just arrived Germany or wherever country where you just arrived at. You should start thinking about what you're going to do for work. If you have a skill from your home country, you should start thinking on how you can transfer these skills to Germany or to wherever country where you are. Or if you looking to do a business, do you know what I mean? Now that you just arrived the country, is a good time to start, fine tuning what business you want to do and start working towards it. You know what I mean? Because right now, as you are, maybe you arrive you arrive Germany with student visa or a family reunification visa, or you are an asylum seeker. You know what I mean? you can, you can start thinking about what you want to do for work eventually in the future. But right now, that is still your early years of arriving in the country, is the best time to start building foundation on what you are going to do for work. If you want to acquire a skill, you want to learn a skill like electrical or bricklaying or Shriner. Shriner would be carpentry in English, or whatever skill you want to learn. Now is the time to start laying those foundations. Do you know what I mean? It's very important to work out what you're going to do for work. I will advise you to not rely on menial jobs, like menial factory work that you can get on skilled labor, basically. Do you know what I mean? You should not rely on jobs like that. Do you know what I mean? So now that you're still early in the country, is a good time for you to start working towards what you would like to do for work in the future. Do you know what I mean? Even you may have friends around you that are also new in the country, and you might see them getting unskilled labor jobs, factory jobs, or cleaning jobs, and you see that they're making money, they send the money back home. Do you know what I mean? You should not get distracted by all of that. Do you know what I mean? You should focus on, what you would like to do in the long term. Do you know what I mean? If you know in your mind what you want to do in the long term for work or business, you should not be distracted by people like your friend or your mate around you that are working unskilled job and getting basic salary, and then do not let that derail you into also going to look for jumping into menial jobs, into unskilled labor jobs. Do you know what I mean? Just because you're in a tight financial situation. You know what I mean? I will advise you to endure whatever tight financial situation you think you're going through. It's not permanent. Do you know what I mean? The best course of action for you, in my opinion, would be to work out what you want to do in the long term and start laying the foundation for those things and start chasing them. Do you know what I mean? All these 5 moves I'm saying, I'm laying out, is applicable to anyone and everyone, irrespective of what visa type you enter the country with. It doesn't matter if you enter the country with a student visa or a visitor's visa or tourist visa, or you are an asylum seeker. But for a visitor's visa or tourist visa, you're probably not allowed to live and work in Germany or in any European country anyway. So I will exempt that from the list. But like I said, whatever status you have, um, student visa or work visa or family reunification visa, or you're an asylum seeker, these 5 moves is applicable to everyone. You can apply these moves into your life as soon as you just arrive the country. And trust me, man, in few years, you will arrive at a place where all these moves you set in motion years ago, you arrive at a place where you just look around you and you see everything, your life taking shapes simultaneously. Do you know what I mean? Your work life taking shape simultaneously with your credit score taking shape simultaneously with your with the work or business you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And every other move you set in motion. Trust me, man. And number 3 on the list would be you should learn the language. If you are in Germany or you are in any country that don't speak your language that you understand, if you intend to live and work in that country for the long term and you want to have a good life in that country, my friend, you must learn the language, man. Do you know what I mean? You must learn the language. There is no way around it. If especially you want to be successful in that country, you have to learn the language. Do you know what I mean? And for some people, especially for people like us coming from an English-speaking country, coming to Germany that don't speak English, it can be difficult. You know what I mean? If having to learn all the accusative and das and grammatic and all of that. Even till now, I still don't fully understand those things. But your effort matters, man. Do you know what I mean? You should always put in effort towards learning the language. It probably can never be perfect. Do you know what I mean? But every little effort helps, or every little effort counts. You know what I mean? You learn the language. If you learn the language, few years goes by, you get to a place where you see that, look, your life, your language life has taken shape simultaneously with your work life or your business life, and at the same time you've got a good credit score. Do you know what I mean? You are in a good, powerful position to make some certain moves that a lot of people are not able, will not be able to do, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and fourth on the list will be your relationship or marriage. This is, I think, on all the moves I'll be sharing, this would be the most sensitive, right? You know, you putting all these moves in motion, you need to be very, very, very careful of who you decide to be with, in, to share, to build a family with. It's very, very important, because you can put in all the hard work and make a wrong relationship decision by being with the wrong person. Every move you're putting in motion will just come falling down like house of cards. Do you know what I mean? So I can't stress enough how important it is for you to get with the right person. If you know the type of person you want to be with, do you know what I mean? You should not compromise. They are out there, they love good women out there in Germany, man. Do you know what I mean? They love them out there. You have to go out, you have to put yourself out there, you have to go to where they go to. You can't be at home and be, say, for example, you're looking for a German lady, right? You can't be looking for a German lady and be going to African church or African restaurant every other weekend. You have to go to where they go to. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking for an African lady to be your missus or your partner, you have to go to where they go to. You have to go, if it's an African church or wherever, you go to where they go to. Do you know what I mean? And if you have in your head what your partner should be like, what, you know, what they should be into, what they should like, you have all these things in your mind, you also should position yourself to be in a position of, that when they see you, you also will be appealing to them, not just they being appealing to you. You also have to present yourself to be appealing to them as well, because they also have expectations as well. Do you know what I mean? Yes. So whoever you decide to have a family with is very, very, very important, man. Do you know what I mean? It's this is, if you get it right, if you get this one right, do you know what I mean? Every other thing, man, we just key in smoothly, man. And need I remind you, the Germany and Europe at large is the housing, every family unit, right, in Germany or in any country in Europe, it's difficult to survive on one income household, meaning you as a guy, you're the only one working and bringing in income. It's difficult because of the way the system is set up. The system is set up in such a way that the husband and the man and the woman the husband and the wife has to work and bring in income for the family to survive financially, man. Do you know what I mean? Back in the days, only one person can afford to work and the whole family can live off the income of one partner. But now, both partners has to work. But if you have an high income skill and you're bringing in enough money and your partner don't need to work, that's fine. But if you intend to be with a lady that is that's got a skill, even if she don't have to work, that even say you have a high income skill, and only you can afford to work and bring in income for both of you and your family to survive, and your partner don't need to work, that's fine. But still, she needs to have a skill that if she needs to work, you know what I mean, she will have to she will have a good job, basically. Do you know what I mean? If it's something you're interested in, you know what I mean, you should also go to places where such type of people hang out. Do you know what I mean? You should hang out where they hang out. Do you know what I mean? That's the best way to set yourself up for relationship success, man, or marital success. That's fourth on the list, right? And the fifth on the list, and not the list, is your document, which is your resident permit. Wow, you see how I've left this to this resident permit to last one for the to be on the last on the list. Resident permit is very important, man. Like I said, the first one I talked about was credit score, and the second one was what you want to do for work or business, and the third one I talked about was learning the language, and the fourth one is relationship or marriage, right? Who you decide to be in a relationship with or marriage, and the last on the list is document. You know what I mean? If you can, when you first arrive the country, you know what pathway you want to take to regularize your document. You know what pathway you want to take to get out, to sort out your document. If you know you want to learn in Germany, if you decide to learn a skill like Ausbildung, like apprenticeship in English, at the end of your Ausbildung, at the end of your apprenticeship, and you get a job, you will be given resident permit. That is a pathway to getting document through learning a skill. Other skill are you're new in Germany, you go out and you meet a nice lady or a nice guy, and both of you like each other, and then you decide to set up a family, and that person is a settled person in the country, is German or European, and both of you decide to start a family. That way as well, you get your immigration status sorted as well, and at the same time, you're building a family. Do you know what I mean? It's like killing two birds with one stone. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So there are different pathways to sort out your document. So if you know what pathway you want to sort out your document, I will advise you, even if you want to go through the route of apprenticeship, you should always have plan A and plan B. Do you know what I mean? Always have plan A and plan B. You're old enough, you intending to get married and settle down in a few months. Do you know what I mean? Or in a few years. Do you know what I mean? But not long. Um, you can you can walk towards that, and at the same time you should have plan B, like learning a skill, like taking up an apprenticeship. That way you get, you set a plan B, just in case you're not able to find someone. You can also sort out your document through learning a skill. Do you know what I mean? Through your apprenticeship. Yeah, you see these 5 moves. You set all these 5 moves in motion as you just arrive the country. As you just arrive the country, I would like to get my document through apprenticeship. As you just arrive, start, laying down the foundation of what you want to study. If it's electrical, whatever you want to do, you start learning the foundation. You know what I mean? Getting all the requirements you need to be eligible to learn to be eligible for apprenticeship. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, even if you set all these 5 motion if you set all these 5 moves in motion, I would like to remind you, you must not forget, in this whole process, right? It might take you 3 years or 5 years to sort out your document. But you see, as soon as you sort out your document and you go on to have a permanent residency, when you go on to have permanent residency, now you see all these 5 moves you set in motion: your credit score, your work or business, you learning the language, your relationship and marital life. All these moves you set into motion. As soon as the day you're given that permanent residency, you can walk into a bank with a good credit score and take out loan to buy property or to invest in whatever you want to do. Do you know what I mean? You can, with your permanent residency and you have a job, you have a permanent work contract, you can walk into your bank and they give you a loan that can that can affect your life positively. Do you know what I mean? That will make great impact in your life positively. You see, from the beginning, I told you can take out phone contract. These are minor contract that don't. These are minor things you can do with your credit score that don't really impact your life much financially. But you see, as soon as the day you get permanent residency, you have a job, you have a good credit score, all these things, you can't get them overnight. That's why I said you have to set them in motion from the beginning you enter the country. From the day you're given permanent residency, you can walk into your bank, and you get a loan. Do you know what I mean? Whatever amount, 50,000, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000, depending on your monthly net income from your job, you can get, this money to buy property for yourself or for your family. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you have any question, I will also advise you to stay out of crime as well, because if you commit crime, this will affect everything. Stay away from crime. As you're building these things, you will come in contact with people that will want to introduce you to ways to make money fast, to make money quick. My friend, move away from those people, fam. Move away from those people. One crime will set you back 10 years. One crime can set you back 10 years. Stay away from people that's always bringing you opportunity to make money quick. Do you know what I mean? Set these 5 moves in motion. The day you get your permanent residency, you will see your life take shape. And everyone around you will look at you like, how did you do it? They will wonder how you did it. But it's because you've set these 5 moves in motion from the beginning. And please stay away from crime as well. Do you know what I mean? That will increase your chances of getting this done as soon as possible, man. Do you know what I mean? Because even before you get to permanent residency, they have to check if you've committed a crime before they issue it to you. Do you know what I mean? So I'll advise you, it's if you're able to set these 5 moves in motion, that's brilliant, man. But if you've committed any crime, this will affect everything. Do you know what I mean? So stay away from crime, man. Do you know what I mean? If you have any question, I'll be more than happy to reply your question. And if you have any other move as well, I probably must have left out in this video, please you can leave it in the comment section. I will be more than happy to engage you. We'll talk about it in the comment section as well. Yes, so if you have anything you want to ask, please do feel free to message me. You can email me. Do you know what I mean? I'm always on my email on the go. I will reply as soon as possible. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Have a nice one. Bye.